Hello, lovelies. It's G here with Golden Thread Tarot. How are you doing today? I hope that this message is finding you blessed and abundant. All right. So let's get into the message. I was hearing, while I was preparing and shuffling and doing my meditation and everything, I was hearing, prepare yourself for what is to come. Light speed into your new awakening or your new journey, right? Your new reality. So, wow. Let's go. Please bring forward positive love and light messages for the collective, please. Light speed into the new journey, into your new reality. What do you want to talk about today, Spirit? Okay, I'm hearing 3 more. Lots of shuffling, lots of moving things around, preparing things for your journey. That's what I'm hearing. Preparing things, lining up everything. Lots of working behind the scene. Exactly. God. So absolutely, God is putting in a lot of work. Your spiritual team putting in a lot of work, exactly, to liberate you, right? Exactly. A lot of work behind the scenes putting in. Benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Absolutely. So seeing yourself as a light being, seeing yourself as somebody who's here. Wow, exactly. A student, exactly. Somebody who's here to learn, who's here to teach, who's here to guide, you know, and to simultaneously be a teacher and a guide yourself, right? Hero, heroine. Wow. Passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Ooh, exactly. Look at that. Look at that. Look at you climbing up, right? Climbing up that peak, climbing up to this next level of enlightenment, right? Absolutely. I'm being really drawn to like their whites, to the white clothes that these people have on as well, purifying yourself. And they have these bags over their shoulders, so it's like all of this information that you have gathered up over time to leading up to this moment, right? To this peak, all your past lifetimes and all of the work that you have put in the past leading up to this kind of like to this particular moment of like, oh, this is where your new life begins. Yeah. So I'm getting very too much here with these both being like this orange color. There's a lot of sacral chakra work going on here. Kitty, could you please stop bumping my camera? Hey. Kitty. My two kitties are there like loving and like looking all over each other and like bathing each other and loving on each other. Scribe. Okay, so a lot of you could be writing down your experiences. Okay, a lot of you might find yourself in some kind of way either writing down or orating, speaking. You could be some kind of motivational speaker. You could be writing down. You could be some kind of visual artist. Okay, there's a lot of different ways that you're getting out your overall story, your spiritual journey, your journey to enlightenment, all the things that you have learned and that you are coming into this moment, right? It's like this birth moment is what I'm hearing, right? It's like this giving birth to this new you, to this new higher elevated version of yourself, right? Ooh, oh, no, okay, Spirit saying one more. I'm also hearing journaling. You guys don't don't be underestimating how wonderful it is to get it out, right? If you're getting these spiritual downloads, you're getting this guidance, you're getting these ideas, they're just zoom, like flowing into your mind, ideas for art, for pieces, for subject matters, for topics that you want to discuss, for things that you want to research, anything that just pops into your mind that you're kind of just going on about your day and you're like, I should look up this more. I should think about that more. Do not be scared to like sit down, pull out your notebook. For a lot of you, I'm hearing Libras, okay? And I know a lot of Libras, they carry around like notebooks and stuff. You don't be scared to go out and get those little notebooks. You guys, I have like so many of them that I just carry around in my purse, stick in my bag, stick in this bag, stick in that bag, so that if I'm just walking around and spirit is like boom and like hits me with something, I can just pull out that notebook and jot it down really fast. At my old job, it used to kind of annoy my boss because sometimes they would come walking around the corner and I'd be there jotting down. It's like I have to get this out like right now. So but it's okay. Ooh, detective. But look, more of that book, right? Yeah, I'm hearing research, like research looking inside. For some of you, you could be writing some kind of biography, or you could be writing a biography on somebody that you're researching, somebody that you're looking into. You could be reading more biographies of like, or of like spiritual leaders and things like that. Great power of observation, intuition, desire to seek out the truth. Exactly. So you're out there in the world experiencing these things, and here you are, right? It's like here you're observing these things, and look, you're like writing them down in the book, right? Like observing these things through the knowledge, also observing things through the perceptions of others, right? Through understanding that yes, that it is important to go inside, have your own intuition, but it's also important to rely, not rely, but it is also important to take on the experiences of other spiritual people, of other existence, of other people and the other ways that they have living, going out there, experiencing, talking to people, seeing how other people view, or how other people are looking through the lens of their own spiritual experience. It's no man is an island, right? Like, so it's very important that you're going out there and that you're learning from other people too, but you have the discernment and the observational skills to understand that just because you observe it as somebody else's reality, you don't have to make it yours. But it is important to not rely on other people's observations to be able to hone into your observation, but to also not solely be so alone in the world, that you're not taking in other people's experiences as understanding. Spirit can put out a message to 4 or 5 different people, but they're going to interpret it in different ways. They're going to put it out in different ways. So it is important to kind of experience life through other people. I'm hearing that, like, that storyteller, that's in this deck as well. Okay. Right. So it's like understanding who you're speaking to, where you're getting your stories from. Yeah. Yeah. Look, there it is. Storyteller. I knew it would be there. Absolutely. All right. Let's dive more into this. This is very interesting. I'm really enjoying this. 7:15 down on the clock. Yeah, look at that. Looking out into the world, right? Looking forward to the future, looking out into the world, understanding that there are all these vast possibilities, making business contacts, all right? Getting out there and networking. Absolutely. I'm hearing collaborating, networking, but also using your discernment as to who you should collaborate with and who you shouldn't. Whose message is just a message out there, and what messages are really for you. It's really important that you learn how to do that, right? I say that all the time. Well, I don't say it all the time, but I say, I've said it in my messages before. Just because that you find yourself resonating with a lot of my stories does not, or a lot of the things, a lot of my videos, does not mean that every single one of my videos is going to resonate, or is going to be out there for you, right? It's important that you use your own discernment to know what really applies to you and your story. Yeah. So look at that. Look at that. Falling here under God is this temperance. Yes. So God, your angels, your spirit guides are really here. God, spirit, the universe, however it resonates for you, right? Is really here, putting in that work, bringing in, telling you, put in the work. It's okay. We're bringing in this balance. Everything is happening in divine time. Understand that, you're not alone. You're here. We're working with you, right? Oh, excuse me. My kitty keeps bumping into the camera. I'm sorry, you guys. Hmm. Ooh, I thought I was gonna sneeze. Sorry, you guys. Okay, Spirit told me to take this card. Oh, yeah, Hierophant. There is also this feeling too that some of you feel, I'm hearing unapologetically standing in your truth. And there are some people in your life who can't handle that, okay? You might find that you kind of buck heads with the system, or you kind of buck heads with the kind of like 3D system that we live here in. Yeah. With this Ace of Wands here, it's like a passionate new beginning. It's also about ideas, receiving ideas, inspiration, creativity. There are those here, okay? You might really feel that, okay? There are those here who are going to try to hold you back. Wow, chill. Some of you might be having a problem with authority figure in your life, particularly a divine masculine figure. Okay, they don't have to be masculine; they could be a woman, man, anything, anything, however they want to identify themselves. But they're just operating in very like controlling, masculine, dominant energy. Okay, and so some of you might be having an issue with particularly with a father or with a masculine figure in your life who really is kind of unsupportive, right? Who's kind of unsupportive of you walking away from you going through the steps, okay? Spirit is just wanted to touch on that for a little bit and tell you it's okay, right? It's okay. 1044. We have to get to a point in our life where we understand that we can't save everybody, that we can't enlighten everybody, but we also can't take everybody on our journey with us. You know, it doesn't have to rely on us, the fact that we've awoken. And yes, maybe we want other people around us to awaken as well. Excuse me. Maybe we want other people around us to awaken as well, you know, but it's not always, you know, different people wake up at different journeys, at different points, at different times, 11:11 down on the clock in their life. Okay, you've manifested this, it's time for you to manifest it now. It's, you're gonna have to get to the point where you find it to be okay that not everybody agrees with your journey, that not everybody agrees with your point of view, that not everybody is going to agree with how your awakening is affecting you. Okay, especially if this has to do with traditionalism, right? With that Hierophant card, it's also about traditional ways, traditional mindsets, especially that Hierophant paired. You might come from a very strictly, you know, no, this is the religion we practice. This is what this religion says, and that's the only thing you can think. Kind of background, a very traditionalist background. Okay, but Spirit is here guiding you, telling you it's okay to live your own truth, right? It's okay. Well, right? Kind of just stop listening, maybe, right? That just kind of fell out of my ear right then as soon as I said that, right? Kind of stop listening, stop being guided by kind of like old traditional mindsets. You know, allow yourself to take in other people's stories and understand that there are different realities out there that you could be existing in, right? Find your truth. Find what really speaks to you. Just because a singular truth exists in your society, traditionally in your family, or in, you know, in family figures, does not mean that has to be the same reality that exists for you, right? Well, shoot. Yeah. Okay, you could be an emperor figure, you could be a divine masculine here who's really struggling with this, okay? Or you could be really struggling with finding your masculine dominant creation energy, okay? Right? Creating this new reality and bringing it in for yourself, going out there, planning, organizing. It's going to be a really important part. Your spirit guides are telling you get into this masculine energy. We all have both inside us, right? So it's important that sometimes we know that it is important to let this creative energy flow to us, right? And then once it flows to us, we get this directional, right? We get this direction, we get this, okay? And then when we're ready, right, to actually go forward and put the ideas and things that we're getting, the downloads that we're getting into action, get into that masculine energy of going out there, creating, right? And also, this masculine energy is also really good for networking, right? For networking, for becoming a leader, for taking that inspiration and turning it into action, right? I'm also hearing here. Oh yeah, look, absolutely. I'm also getting some out of nowhere that some of you might struggle with the gender, with traditional genders being assigned to, like, say maybe some of you are just like, is God a specific gender? I know that traditionally we call that, a lot of people call, a lot of Christians, at least American Christians, call God a he, right? Or a lot of people where I am, they go, God's a man, God's a he, God's the creator, right? It has to be this he kind of um, energy. Some of you might be struggling with that, and Spirit is saying, let that go. That when it comes to passing over to into spirituality, it's not so much about an actual gender in that kind of way. It's more about understanding understanding the power of both masculine and feminine power, right? And how they're both powerful in their own way. They're both useful in their own way. And they come together to create this oneness, right? Yeah, and I'm also, I keep hearing the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? And I guess that's kind of this, right? Perhaps like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost kind of energy that I'm getting from this right here. Some of you might really be working with Christ consciousness. So it's like spirit coming together to work with you with kind of like the institution or the way that kind of like spirit on earth and then inside the individual person. So it's kind of like the above realm, the higher self, right? The higher self, the lower self, and then spirit, or kind of like spirit in between those things. This is very interesting. Some of you could be having a hard time battling with church. I'm hearing like Catholicism, like but with possibly battling through maybe perhaps your spirituality is leading you to where you have a really hard time thinking, no, I have to go through a priest or through a ordained holy person here on earth to receive my messages from spirit. And maybe you're being guided, and that's a kind of a real big question mark for you, right? Perhaps maybe it's a really big hurdle, this traditional mindset of, no, I need to go through the church to find my salvation, right? And I am not traditionally religious, but that's going to have to be something perhaps that you find inside of yourself. It's going to be very individual for you, right? Yeah. So for some of you, this could be this kind of mindset that you're searching through. Oh, that's so funny with the getting that, because I'm getting like maiden, mother, crone, right? Like I'm getting like angelic, like youth, mid-age, older age. Like there's this succession here as well, which is also kind of like that Father, Son, Holy Ghost, right? Maiden, mother, crone kind of energy. Maybe perhaps some of you will be writing books or writing about about these similar architects, right? That appear, around all religions. And how, if we really break it down to its most basic form, a lot of us, are talking about the same energy. We're just using different words. We're labeling it in different terms, but so many of us are speaking of the same energy. We're so many of, and for me personally, that also crosses over into religion, spirituality, as well as science, right? A lot of so much of the time for me in general, if I'm studying like these scientific terms I'm studying this, and I'm just like, well, that relates to spirituality, like that overall energy, the God particle, the overall energy, talking about like dark energy, dark matter. And I'm just like, well, there's there's equivalent to those things in spirituality, so it's like we're talking about the same thing, we're just using different terms to describe it. So some of you also might be doing some studies in that. Ooh, if you are, please let me know. Oh my gosh, I'll read your book. It'd be so cool. All right, let's keep going. This is so interesting. Oh, ooh, yes. What was I saying? Manifesting change, right? Absolutely beautiful. Okay. And I'm also hearing like harnessing heartbreak, harnessing these karmic experiences that you've experienced in your life, and learning lessons through them. Some of you might be really talking about that, teaching people how to transfer energy, right? That's what we talk about in spirituality. When in science, we talk about how energy can neither be destroyed, it can only be transferred. It can only enter a different state or a different form, right? No, I'm not quoting that directly or anything like that, but that also transfers over to spirituality, right? Some of you might be talking about how the scientific, thesis behind manifesting, behind spiritual work, behind energy work, right? Being able to scientifically give like a scientific definition to what exactly is happening when people are using manifestation energy and things like that. Ooh. Oh my God, I love it. So interesting. I'm so interested. That is something my whole entire life I've always been like, I don't understand why people think there has to be this huge gap in between science and religion, or science and spirituality, you know? Yeah. Well, I mean, I do understand it kind of. Traditionally, I understand it. Traditionally, the church and science has not really vibed because of power struggles and things. But that's not because of the actual. That is because of our interpretation. That's because men's interpretation. Man is a mankind's interpretation of power struggle, right? It doesn't actually have to do with religion. It doesn't actually have to do with spirituality. It doesn't actually have to do with with this, right? It's like understanding. I was in a group of friends the other night, and we were sitting outside, and we were just sitting there talking, and we were talking about how my friend was kind of like, how I've never really thought about how, like aliens and things like that, which I know I'm getting kind of like ooh, rabbit hole stuff, conspiracy theory stuff. But it's kind of like, yeah, it's like understanding that angels, angels, ghosts, other entities and things like that technically are like aliens, right? They are from a different dimension. They're traveling here from a different dimension, heaven, hell, even in the traditional religious forms of those, right? You have to understand, right, that it's in a different dimension. And when they talk about having multiple dimensions, like parallel dimensions that live on top of each other, exist simultaneously, we're talking about the same thing in religion, right? When you talk about those things, when you talk about string theory, when you talk about, well, string theory is something different, but when you talk about parallel multi dimensions, look to religion, because they've been talking about multiple dimensions for thousands of years, right? Look to religion when you're talking you're talking about this stuff, right? Because technically it's the same thing. Now, I'm not on the ancient alien sort of type thing where I'm talking about how, I'm talking about how, oh, ancient people saw aliens visiting our planet and called them angels. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying literally, because this is an energy coming from a different dimension, living in a higher dimension. We talk about the higher realms or the higher dimension, or we talking about your 3D self versus your higher self, your 5D self. That is a version of yourself, your consciousness living in a different dimension, right? That's when we talk about those things, that's what we mean. And so that's why I'm like, I don't understand how science and religion is so butting heads, because we're speaking about the same things. Maybe some of you out there have been in the past, have been very like science logic based, and you're like, well, how can I really believe? Well, most things in science is about finding theories, right? It is about, but most things, like, right, theory of gravity, even though we accept it as fact, it is just a theory. It is just a so far as to the point that we understand it. And that's how I view religion. So far to the fact that we understand it, we can't prove that there's a God, right? We can't prove that but people can manifest things into their lives. There is physical proof of people being able to bring things, saying, I want this, and it comes into their life, right? There's more proof of that than there is some scientists, things that are in books that we consider fact, right? I don't know what kind of mood I'm in today, but like, cool. Yeah. So use your intuition, right? That using your intuition, using your higher self. Some of you could really be talking about that, could really be bringing it like kind of like into mainstream, right? Ooh. Okay, some of you might be writing books or talking about right, with this like kind of the not only I am getting some twin flames, so some of you might be writing books about twin flames, writing books about souls, writing books about finding that person who is your other half of your soul and explaining this scientifically sort of type. It's like bringing a lot of this stuff mainstream and bringing it a lot more into the general consciousness of understanding, bringing the general public into a higher level of consciousness of understanding about these sort of type energy work, soul journeys, having where the average everyday person is thinking about, oh, I'm on a karmic lesson and what do I need to be learning here, and learning the different, learning how to interpret different energies and things like that. Ooh, so cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely, right? Bringing consciousness, right, to light. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm also hearing fight because I saw this Queen of Swords in reverse. I'm also hearing about boundaries, about perhaps writing about the energetic boundaries between this world and the other dimensions. This is all really cool. I love all of this. This is my nerd shit. I love this. I love that. Okay, also talking about people living on different home worlds, talking about star seeds, talking about people elevating their consciousness to be able to remember, living in past lives, remember living at different times, living as a different species on different planets. All of that might be getting a little far out for some of you, but some of you out there are just like, and I'm with you. Okay. Yes. Okay. Also talking about negative energies, negative entities. Okay. Also talking about this kind of dark energy, dark karmic energy, right? Talking about how dark karmic energy can give you these karmic mindsets, okay? Can give you these karmic thought processes that keep you stuck in generational curses, that keep you stuck in these darker ways, okay? How dark energies can affect you, right? We were talking about that earlier. Or maybe I should say something closer. Yes, how dark energy, but also how I should say low vibrational energies, right? Can give you these mindsets. Yeah. Okay. And that's and a lot of you, for some of you, you're going to be pioneering. You're going to be pioneering these right? Climbing, going to places, to higher places of elevation that nobody else has gone to. Tell me more about this, Hero Herald. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that is so cool. Some of you are also going to be talking about, this is more about past lives, reconciliation, bringing back people from past lives, recognizing soulmates, having past life memories from people, recognizing people as, oh, I know this person, but I know them as something else. So it's kind of with this whole like, I'm also, some of you might be bringing more mainstream, and which I mean, it is pretty mainstream, like mediums and ghost interpreters and things like that. But people still look at it as is like various forms of entertainment. But it's like actually getting people to the mainstream, main public to kind of bring that. Some of you are going to be mediums working with bringing messages over, bringing messages over from people. I'm sorry, I just looked up and saw that there is a giant spider. It's like hanging right above my dog. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. Sorry about that, you guys. I just experienced some really paranormal activity with that spider. That was really crazy. Like, I'm not even gonna explain it because I don't even know. Like, I'm literally sitting here just like, how did that just happen? How did okay? I'm feeling some. That was crazy. That was really, really crazy. I don't know. Anyway, but I got really got. Oh gosh, no. Oh, that spider's web was like everywhere, all over. Okay, I got really guided to look up in the here in the animal spirit, the guidebook that goes to the animal to the wild unknown animal spirit a tarot card deck. Okay, I got really guided to look up the spider. All right. The spider is an ingenious creature, yeah, creator. Its great gift is weaving a thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be be process oriented rather than results oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows, okay? When in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, prosperous. When out of balance, discouraged, tired, forlorn, to bring into balance, playful creativity. Okay, that just matches with everything we are just talking about. But that was so crazy, you guys. Like, I tried to knock that spider down. I had it literally, and I was putting it down, and it just suddenly was on the ceiling again. I was like, I no joke was like, wait, what? And I looked, and I was just like, I was literally sitting there, mouth agape, like I was just like, and then I was just like, you know what? Like, that's just the way spirit wanted it, and I'm gonna let it be that way. But yeah, so exactly, let your creativity flow, right? You're weaving this web around you. So, all right. Right, but that ties in here what I was talking, everything that we're talking about, right? Where I would just like weaving this understanding, weaving this. It's really giving me. It's kind of giving me like Charlotte's Web too, right? Where the spiler, Mercury retrograde is Mercury retrograde is really getting me. Okay, where the spider like learned how to weave their web into a way that they could communicate with other people, right? And it was like this marvelous thing, like, oh my gosh, how did the spider learn how to do this? You know, like it's been, oh my god, it's been since like third or fourth grade since I've read Charlotte's Web. That's so funny too, because I have all kind of learning disabilities and like ADHD and things like that, and dyslexia. So it was really hard for me to learn how to read. And Charlotte's Web was one of the books that really sat down, and that I was really actually interested in the story. So I really made myself read. And even though it was really hard, right, I am the type of person, right, that has to read a sentence 3 or 4 times in a row for the sentence to really, for my brain to really process it and really like get in there and be like, yeah, I get this, I understand this, right? So just honestly, right, it's something, it's not something that I'm incredibly ashamed of or anything like that. I mean, you guys see me sometimes, I struggle and I'm just like, oh, let me read that sentence again. It's getting all messed up, you know? So, but into my adult age, it's something that I've just learned how to kind of, you know, it's part, it's just part of me. It's part of who I am. And it's part of just learning to carry on, you know, and still not letting that hold me back and not letting that stop me from enjoying reading or enjoying education or enjoying, you know, understanding really vast concepts, to just keep going on it, right? So, and I think with this kind of like describe this reading, this trying hard and hard over and over again to get communication to work properly, there's definitely something here with that for you guys, where it's like learning how to teach people to communicate. Maybe some of you will be teaching people how to communicate with their spirit guides, right? How to get in touch with the spirit world in a safe and understanding way, right? In a respectful way as well. Okay, so spirit is asking me to clarify. Oh wow, look at that, Ten of Swords. Yeah, and here with this, it's like letting go of the physical reality is what I'm getting there with that Four of Pentacles, and having like the strength, right, inside of yourself to communicate these different forms of being, helping people to understand different forms of being, different forms of reality. Ooh, all that's really far out, cool stuff. Yeah, exactly. Opening people's minds, right? Freeing people from like the matrix of not understanding what's really happening in the world, right? Waking people up. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some business venture here and presenting a gift to the world here is what I'm getting with this ace, not ace, sorry, but this page of pentacles, but is this page of pentacles holding this ace, right? This gift, this ability that was given to you here. It's going to be very prosperous for a lot of you, and it's going to be justice, right? It's going to be justice for a lot of you. Okay, Spirit is asking me to go backwards now and clarify this Emperor card. What more do you have to say about this Emperor card? Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, be careful with control. Okay, definitely. We talked about that with that Emperor card. Page of Wands in reverse and the Nine of Wands in reverse, okay? Learning how overly concentrating on how trying to control the 3D stops you from seeing the greater lessons, right? Stops you being this overly controlling and overly putting putting too much. Also, it's also about, you know, masculinity, how, you know, we're living in the patriarchy, and how the overbearing masculine energy, right, really kind of offsets the flow of intuition, offsets the flow of just, you know, things need to be equal, things need to be balanced. But for a long time in our society and human society, the patriarchy, the church, the hierarchy, how men that want power, men and women, you know, I'm not saying, but people in general who want power kind of take power from people through spirituality, through religion. You know, I'm not going to get into finger pointing and blaming, but we all know the truth, okay? We all know the truth of the past of some religion. And I'm not saying that all religions need to pay the price for the way that some people use it, because there's good and bad, there's light and dark in everything, right? That is just the way of the world. But it's also like this kind of abuse of power. It's like more like taking power away from people who invade religion, who invade spirituality, just to get power over people, right? Because what's more powerful than saying that you have power over somebody's eternal soul, right? So it is kind of like taking that power and putting it back into the individual, taking that power and put it back into your own mind, into your own being, into your own you know, kind of. And it's like I was saying earlier, feeling like you have to go through the church, or feeling like, you know, and if you still feel that way, I am not here knocking you. I'm not here knocking any specific religion or anything like that. I'm not trying to shame somebody. If you find your spirituality or your religion through a particular religion, and you want to practice that religion in a very traditional mindset, that's fine. I'm really surprised that you're here, you know, watching this tarot reading, if that's the way that you feel. But still, you know, I'm glad that you have an open enough mind to be able to be here and take on, you know, more some non-traditional mindsets. Thank you for being open-minded. Thank you for being here, you know. But some of you are going to be helping people, break people out of that kind of mindset as well. Beautiful. Wait, I'm sorry. How many of... Okay, also, I just got an email that was talking about, not email, sorry, like a text message that was talking about veterans. It just really caught my eye. Some of you could be helping counseling people who have seen really traumatic things in this life, or people who have experienced really intense soul scarring from past lives that still, you know, that were so intense that they reoccurred, you know, fears and phobias and things like that. For me personally, I really feel like people develop fears and phobias because of things they experience in this life. But I feel like some people, you know, those people that are just like, my whole life I've had an irrational fear of frogs or something like that, I really feel like has been something that's passed over from a past life. But that's just my personal interpretation of it. I don't have any proof of it so far. But we'll see. Right? Exactly, right? Like I was saying, relieving people of these tremendous burdens, of these really big karmic burdens, right? Let's keep going. This is so interesting. I love talking about stuff like this with you guys. Scribe. Yeah. Let me guys know if you would be interested in developing some kind of membership or some kind of Discord where you guys would like to talk about things like this. If you guys would be interested in that, like, comment down below, reach out to me through email, let me know, okay? Okay, Scribe, Judgment card in reverse here. Ooh, and the sun. Beautiful. Okay. Spirit's wanting me to clarify the judgment before I speak on it. Okay. Six of Pentacles in reverse, and again the Magician card coming out in the side position. So understanding the difference between control and manifestation. Okay. Understanding the difference between using all the tools at your hand and overly trying to control using those tools as well. Okay. I really feel like with this judgment card here, it's misconceptions. A lot of you are going to be writing and getting downloads about misconceptions, how people have misinterpreted things in spirituality or misinterpreted certain mindsets or misinterpreted certain readings. Okay. Some of you are going to be working with certain ascended masters or certain philosophers of the past that are going to come to you and work with you and kind of get some, well, it's been 200, 300 years since I have put out this theory here on earth, and this is how people need, kind of like an updated version of that theory. Okay. An updated version of, well, I really feel like when Confucius was saying this is kind of more what he was saying, or this is how it would apply in our more like a modern day mindset sort of type thing. Like that was just an example, but things like that. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting working here with a lot of energies. Okay, here with the sun. Some of you are going to be working with children and education. I got that too when we were talking about the student card, right? A lot of you are going to be educating people more on the subject of death, more on the subject of passing over. Some of you might become, I know I've talked about that, where it's like end of life counselors, or it's, where you go in and you bring a more like spirit, like not, where you're going in and bringing in possibly specific religious counseling and things like that for end of life counseling. For some of you, you could be coming in and bringing a more spiritual place where you're like, okay, when this person is passing over, this person really needs this certain incense burning, and they need this certain tone or this certain music playing that's going to help them transition over into the next lifetime a lot better. Certain things that people need to eat leading up to their death, certain things and certain meditations and things like that people need to do leading up, so that you have a more like peaceful transfer of like soul transfer over to your next life, or over to your next consciousness, or over to your next state of being. Beautiful. Also, I'm getting more life, death, rebirth cycles, talking about reincarnation. Excuse me. Still trying to get rid of that cough, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Getting in touch with your intuition when it comes to, okay. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this might be getting a little out there for some of you, okay? I might lose some of you here. Some of you, it's going to be post-mortem counseling, okay? So you are going to be dealing with souls that have already passed over, that are having a hard time transitioning over to their next state of being. Right? So we've talked about this before, or we talked about mediums and people who like help. Maybe perhaps you'll be working with investigators. Maybe perhaps Okay, I just got an email about necklaces, so that could resonate for some of you. Some of you might have talismans or certain necklaces. We miss you. I just got an email that says we miss you. For some of you, you might be doing the opposite. You might have family members getting you to contact people who have already passed over to pass over messages. You're safe. We're okay. Please pass over. You're fine. We love you. Everything's okay. Excuse me. You know, please pass over in peace. It's okay. You don't have to linger for us, you know. That's beautiful as well. Excuse me. Ooh, it still gets me to talk for more than about 30 or 45 minutes, you guys. Actually, let me put in a cough. Sorry about that. I had to get me a cough drop. Spirit wanted me to tell you that some of you have already been working on some of the things that I've been talking about. If you have been working with spirit guides, working with past over counseling and things like that, Spirit is saying that you need to check out like your plasma count, or you need to check out, I'm hearing like ectoplasm. That's gonna resonate for those that it needs to resonate for. Okay, there's something about, you know, it draining your energy, and that you need to work on replenishing that. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Detective. Some of you definitely could be working with authorities. Some of you might be working with police, with FBI, things like that, with higher intelligence agencies. Yeah. If we're doing things like that, some of you might have to like create new IDs, or create new identities, not IDs, sorry. Create new identities and have like fresh start sort of type energy here, okay? Okay. This is so weird. For some of you, you're going to be working with like security threats. Dispelling security, you know, security threats, high level security threats. I'm not going to get too deeply into that because I'm not trying to get this video flagged by anything. I'm hearing data insecurity. Ooh. This is getting very sci-fi. Some of you could go into work of, yeah, okay. Some of you could go into work of timeline research, okay? Reality research, bringing forth investigations, or bringing forth research on parallel dimensions, in the form of like what reality, you know, like high vibrational versus low vibrational realities. Trying, like, that's more coming into this like data data research, data, like looking into that sort of type stuff. High level security shit. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stop talking about, which I know nothing about, by the way. I know nothing about that, so I'm not digging too deep into that. Yeah, no fucking joke, Spirit. Okay. do you want to talk about this detective? Some of you are going to go into hydro research, into harnessing, into harnessing molecular energy research. Okay, energy from like splitting particles, like splitting water particles, particle interference, nuclear engineering, clean burning fuel sources. I'm hearing something about liquid oxygen. I know that a lot of as far last time I did any kind of research on on rocket powered anything like that, it was filled with liquid oxygen. I know that I don't know that much about it. If anybody knows actually anything about that and they're watching this, they're like, you're wrong. You're just outdated and wrong, probably. But yeah. Yeah. I'm hearing something about particle reassignment, particle replacement, manifesting through particle replacement. Okay. All of that is so fucking interesting. I love that. Yeah, and here, again, with this detective here, the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the detective, right? Is the investigator, is the person going in that. For some of you, you're definitely going to go into science, go into sciences, but you're going to be, it's like a person that starts off starts as kind of a scientist, gets into spirituality and like particle research and things like that through spirituality, and combines together those things and to discovering new technologies and things. Oh, that's alien shit. Okay. Oh, this is so interesting. Why am I literally getting like a life story of somebody? This is interesting. Okay. Somebody's going to be trying something, doing something along the scientific terms that I was just talking about. Somebody's going to lose their job. They're going to gonna have a lot of people talking about them. A lot of people discouraging them, calling them a kook or calling them a quack. They're gonna be waiting for results that never come in, that never come around or never come in. Why are you talking about the spirit? And then they're gonna get an idea. They're gonna get a spiritual download from an ascended master that works closely with them. They're gonna have a dream about it, and then they're gonna slowly start working on an idea. Ooh, who is this person? Who is this person that's part of my collective? I know who this is. I don't know you, but I know who you are. I've heard your story. I keep getting your story. Yeah. And then, like I said, slow start, brilliant idea, building up your business, coming out of stagnancy, receiving justice, finding your truth, holding it out for the world, getting happiness. So if you're here and you're at the beginning of your research, okay, keep going. All right, keep going. Because you're going to do some marvelous things in this world, okay? Why am I hearing? I'm hearing lines from that movie, James and the Giant Peach. I'm hearing marvelous things will happen. Marvelous pigs in satin. No, marvelous things will happen. Yeah. There's going to be a particular person, a water sign male, that's going to be in your life that's going to really discourage you. It could be a boss. It could be a coworker, something like that. Please watch out for them. They're going to try to block your work, block your research, block your... if you're putting in grants, they're the reason you're not getting them. So be aware of that. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to discuss today? Nope. All right. Well. Yeah. Okay, you guys, that was so interesting. I love this little break. I wanted to talk about something different today. So, I wanted to take a little break from us talking about, the overall twin flame love kind of readings and things like that. I love doing readings like this where we're talking about future casting. We're talking about people building, people learning, the future 555, how people that are here watching the channel, people in the spiritual community are going to be the next people who are changing the world. I love talking about that stuff with you guys. Like I said before, if you guys would be interested and starting a dialogue with things like this. If you guys like these videos like this, I know that they might not be the most popular thing on my channel, okay, but I love talking about this stuff. It's stuff that I'm really deeply passionate about, and if it's something that you guys would be interested in creating some kind of Discord or some kind of membership program over, okay, you guys please let me know. Reach out to me in my email. Also, if you are this person, reach out to me. We'll talk. All right. I will see you guys in another one. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance. All right. I hope this gave you the motivation that you need, okay, to keep on going, to keep on pushing, to keep on doing that research, because you are going to be here changing the world, okay? And I'm so incredibly freaking proud of you guys. Keep going, okay? You are going to be the next generation of people who are pushing us forward into this new age of Aquarius, okay? So beautiful. Good job. Keep going. All right. You can absolutely 100% do this. Have faith and power in yourself, and know that God, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to say, is behind you, pushing you forward. Okay. You 100% got this. Keep going. All right. Don't be scared to push yourself outside of your accepted reality, okay? Don't be scared to push yourself beyond the limits of what you thought this world could be, okay? Because it can be anything that you make it. So, and all that cheesy shit, okay? If you guys enjoyed this, let me know down in the comments below, okay? If you guys are interested in more stuff like this, because I would love to talk about more stuff like this, all right? So let me know in the comment section down below. If you're not subscribed, think about subscribing, okay? And if you are subscribed, thank you for being here again. I hope to see you in the next one. I hope this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye, lovelies.